Thought we'd start this one off with a riddle. Small cup or small hand? What's up everybody, JJ Shankles here with your tech news. We've got a lot of news to cover, so let's get right into it. The first story of the day is the big announcement from Canon. The Canon R5 and Canon R6 will be their next generation of mirrorless cameras, and these seem to be a huge step forward in the mirrorless space of cameras, bringing 8K shooting to the Canon R5, also 4K up to 120 frames per second. These are specs you sometimes don't see on high-end cinema cameras, and it does seem almost too good to be true that this mirrorless camera will be able to shoot 8K full frame up to 30 frames per second. Now, there have been some rumors of it having issues with overheating. It kind of makes sense that you're not going to be able to shoot 30 minutes straight of 8K footage, but that's going to be so much data in one shoot. It makes sense that people will use the 8K for more specific, shorter shots. And the price of these cameras is a big point of note. The R5 will be sold for $3,900 in the US, and the R6 will be sold at $2,500. Very good price points for the features that Canon was able to put in this. It's a huge step up from the previous Canon R. Their first mirrorless camera was kind of a dud compared to Sony's and Nikon's mirrorless cameras, but this new Canon R5 will probably be the best mirrorless camera out there on the market. But with Canon announcing such an exciting camera, Sony and Nikon have both retaliated by scheduling product release events at the end of July. Unsure exactly when these will be, Nikon specifically is rumored that it will announce their next generation of mirrorless cameras. It'll probably be a 6S and 7S, sort of an iterative upgrade from their current Z6 and Z7, which were their first mirrorless cameras. Z6 is what I'm shooting on right now. And it seems like these upgrades will take it from being a first camera by Nikon to being a really good camera by Nikon. Specifically, up 4K up to 60 frames a second and dual card readers. Currently, that was one of the biggest downsides to the Nikon mirrorless cameras, was that it only had a single card reader. It seemed like a huge oversight that these huge, very expensive cameras would only have a single card reader. It's unsure exactly if they'll put 2 XQD card slots or if they'll leave 1 XQD and put in an SD card reader. We'll have to see when they make their official announcement. And Sony's not one to be left out of the competition. They say their announcement at the end of July will announce their Sony A7sIII. This will be the video-specific mirrorless camera, and the A7S II has been out for quite a while now. They've been upgrading their A7R, which is more photography, very high megapixel camera, and now hopefully we'll get an upgraded video camera. There's a lot of rumored specs that it might have 4K up to 120 frames a second, which is a huge spec to have. So overall, this might be a very exciting year for mirrorless cameras, specifically in the video realm. And on to hardware news. Nvidia is allegedly killing off their last generation graphics cards, specifically the 2070, the 2070 Super, 2080 Super, and 2080 Ti. These were last generation's top of the line graphics cards, and they're phasing out creation of these last generation to make way for next generation, which is supposedly going to be launched at the end of this year. Now, Nvidia hasn't officially confirmed this, but it makes sense. This is what they normally do to sort of clear out stock of the old graphics cards, so they don't have to run crazy sales to clear out old inventory when the new products are about to be launched. They'll just stop making them, so prices might be going up of these previous generation cards. If you're looking to buy right now, it might be a good time to wait until the end of this year when the next generation graphics cards will be launched. That way you could buy a previous gen card at a reduced used price, or you can get a brand new shiny next generation graphics card. And talking about next generation hardware, Lego is teaming up with Nintendo to create a Lego NES Console. While this won't be a real playable console, you will be able to crank the side of the TV and it scrolls through the level, making Mario move through it. Really cool stuff here for fans of retro gaming or fans of Legos, which covers most nerds and geeks out there. This will be quite a large set with over 2,500 pieces in it, and it's rumored to be priced around $250. And more in news of retro gaming, Halo 3 is finally coming to PC. This game was originally released in 2012 for the Xbox 360, but if you've been waiting for it to come to PC, your wait is almost over. It will be released on PC. It should be released to PC any coming day now. And by the time this video drops, it might already be out now. And on to some mobile news. Google just leaked the Pixel 4a on their own website. This is the closest thing we can get to an official leak because it's on their own website. It shows some pictures of what the final phone will look like. All these pictures were basically already known. All the specs are almost already known. The Pixel 4a is set to be a really good budget cell phone, set to be sold at around $350, which is a $50 discount over last year's Pixel 3a. But still no official news on when this will actually be launched, maybe towards the end of July or early August. But we don't have official dates, so you might just have to keep waiting. And more Google news we do know about. The Pixel Buds are Google's wireless earphones that were launched previously this year, and they've announced that these phones will have scheduled feature drops similarly to their cell phones. It's sort of planned big firmware updates. And the first Pixel Buds feature drop is set to be coming out pretty soon. This feature drop will specifically cover the audio drop issues that people are having with the Pixel Buds. Kind of some disappointing problems some people have had with the Pixel Buds of it just dropping audio or it coming in and out, losing connection. And so hopefully this feature drop will clear up all the problems and there'll be some A+ headphones after that. But OnePlus is not to be left behind in the wireless headphone department. They're simply calling them the OnePlus Buds, with a similar form factor to AirPods. It'll have a dangling part that sticks straight down from the actual earbud goes in the ear, and then it'll have a stick that hangs out. And they're supposed to be launched alongside the OnePlus Nord, which will be the budget phone from OnePlus for the year. And these are both expected to be launched on July 21st. So we're gonna have a pretty exciting end of July with hardware releases. And on to general news, Ford is bringing back the Bronco 24 years later, and they're packing as much technology into this. With the 2021 Bronco, Ford will be merging technology of the future and nostalgia of the past. They've kept a lot of similar design features of the Bronco, but they've upgraded it to make it look like the next generation of vehicles on the road. This is definitely a flashy car that you will notice when you pass it on the road. It'll come in 3 different variations with a stronger motor throughout the line and various upgrades in technology throughout. You can check the description in the link down below for the full details. And a little bit of Star Wars news for any Clone Wars fans out there. They're getting a spin-off series featuring the Clone Wars Bad Batch squad. This group of clones came up only in the last season of Clone Wars, and personally I became a huge fan of them. They were clones that had their DNA slightly altered, so they were clones but actually had a unique personality between them and seemed to make up a great squad, and I really wish there was more than the few episodes that were dedicated to them. And coming in 2021, Disney Plus will have a full spin-off series featuring this Bad Batch squadron of clones. But anyway, that wraps up our news for today. If anything I said was infactual or I missed a story you wanted me to cover, make sure to comment it in the comments down below. And while you're down there, if you would hit that like and subscribe button, it really helps this channel out and it means a lot to me personally. But anyway, I hope you guys have an amazing day out there. Make sure you're staying safe. Make sure you're washing your hands a lot. It is 2020 after all. But I hope you have an amazing day and I will see you on the next episode. Go Toaster out.